On the field, getting ready. Irene, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks of Emery-Ethan. That'll be the 9A championship game. We're about 28 minutes away from that one.
Small town football, Friday nights, it's all one and the same. It's a very important time during the week and during the year for people in places like Emery and Ethan and Castlewood and Buffalo, because that's kind of what the whole culture is all about. We've got more on what it's like to be in a small town on a good night in Irene.
The sign outside of the village in the valley says that 523 people live here. And on a given Friday night, you'll find most of them out here on the west end of the village. At the ticket gate, you'll be greeted by Barb Satter. She has 2 daughters on the basketball team, but tonight her mind, and everybody else's in Irene, is on football.
It's very important to a town the size of Irene. I think people really get behind their team, they really support the team, and they enjoy the camaraderie that comes with having a winning football team. And it's just the focal point of the activities right now.
Back to the team! Back to the team! Down!
In Irene, it's always standing room only, partly because the best view of the game is right up close on the track that surrounds the field, and partly because the few bleacher seats are full long before the game starts. In the crowd most nights, you'll find Bob Slowey. He's lived his entire life here in Irene. The semi-retired banker has put 5 daughters through Irene High School, and Slowey has always given his support to the Cardinals.
Sports have really been an important part of the community for years. I've been born and raised here, and as long as I can remember, sport keeps the community together.
Down on the sidelines, you'll find head coach Brent Mutchelknaus, the man the town has entrusted to mold the young men of Irene into a football powerhouse.
The fans of Irene are really great. I've never felt any pressure that we have to win. I believe it's important to a small town to have a good tradition in the sports. It keeps the schools and the community together. I think we'd still have the same support even if we weren't as successful as we had been. They've never put the pressure on that we've got to get to the playoffs, or we have to win the conference, or we have to win against a certain team. It's just always been to go out and do our best and try to make Irene proud of us.
It is not a typical Friday in Irene, though, because they play an afternoon game. It's ironic because the little town we chose to do the story on just happens to be in the 9A championship game, which is coming up, and we'll have more on that in just a few minutes.
Emery-Ethan is hoping the first time is the charm. The Seahawks soar into the Dome with a 10-1 record. Dave Arndt covered almost 1,500 yards on the ground, and Tony Clark has over 1,000 yards through the air. From seas to shining seas for the Irene Cardinals. The quarterback Joe to brother Ben helped Irene score 47 points in a semifinal victory. The last time Irene was here, they won it all in '91.
Welcome back to the Dome for the 9A championship game. Mark Ovenden along with Tom Neiman and Lee Timmerman, and our 2 coaches for this game, Jeff Van Loer of Emery-Ethan. And Jeff, I know the whole town, and I should say the whole towns are really excited about this, aren't they?
Right, they are. You know, it's been bubbling all week. It's been a long dream of everybody's, and it's something that's really pulled the 2 communities together well.
Now, this being your first performance here in the Dome, how concerned are you about the jitters?
Well, a little bit, you know, we're a very senior-oriented team, so we feel we can handle the pressure, and come down and play well.
You must feel good about the way your team's played so far in the playoffs.
Yeah, we are. You know, I think we started peaking at the right time. We had a loss in there, and we used it as a learning tool, and the kids took it as that didn't ruin our season or throw us off. We took it as a learning tool and kept with it.
Now, when you get to this point in the season, do you? I know you scout the other team, but do you worry more about you doing the things that you do best?
Well, I think so. You know, you try to keep things on a roll and keep things clicking for you, and I think we'll stick with that.
Now, that would be monster drives that chew up the clock, wouldn't it?
Well, that has been our game plan, you know, throughout the playoffs. It's been keep the ball away from very powerful offenses, and we've done a good job of doing that.
Now, I know you hate to pick out a single player, but is there one guy that has to kind of step up above for you today to win this game?
Well, I know there's one. I think we've got a couple seniors in Tony Clark and David Aaron and Jason Riggs that their composure and their leadership qualities are going to hold everybody together for us.
What's your one fear about Irene?
Well, they're very explosive offensively. They're well coached and execute well. We have to shut down their offense.
Okay, Jeff, good luck this afternoon.
You,
Brent, mucho canals. Did I get it?
That's right.
All right. Now, I asked you this before. What's the worst anybody's ever butchered your last name?
It's been done so many different ways, I really can't pick one out.
You hate to pick one,
That's right, yeah. You can't give credit to any one person.
Now, coming from a guy that's had his last name butchered, I just had to ask you that. Now, let's talk about this game. You guys have been here before, 2 years ago in the championship game, and then last year you lost, ironically, in 9B to Harding County in the semifinals. You feel like you got an advantage in playoff experience over the team you're playing?
Well, just a few things. That we've been here before. We know it's a little bit warmer. We try to pace ourselves a little bit better. Coming from the colder weather of the outside games, this is quite a change for us. So other than that, I don't think it really is that much of an advantage for us. Most of these kids didn't play 2 years ago down here. Only Joe Cease and David Reuter got any time, so I don't think that'll really be much of an advantage for us.
Now, Jeff said he was pretty fearful of your wide-open offense. That has been the kind of team you've had all year, hasn't it?
Well, our offense has scored a lot of points, but the defense has set up very many opportunities for them. So we always try to play a defensive game, and then the offense comes around from that.
I would think on the carpet your kids would have a lot of fun.
Yeah, they really enjoy coming here. It's a goal for them, something that they work for. They've been pointing to this game for almost a year. When we were defeated last year at Harding County, that didn't sit very well with them, and they worked hard to get here again.
Now, I've been down here many, many years covering games, both high school and coyotes, and I don't think I've ever been here when it's been so hot. It's 85 degrees down here on the floor, 95 up high. What can you do to get the kids to keep from cramping up?
Well, about the only thing we can do is try to keep plenty of fluids in them and go a little bit slower in our warm-ups. So we've tried to slow that down a little bit, and we're maybe going to have to run in a few kids that haven't played it that much this year, but they'll probably get some time today.
And I'll ask you the same question. Is there one kid that has to step up and above, and maybe not even one of your star players? Is there somebody maybe you look forward to for that extra effort to have to win the game?
I don't know if it's one. We're going to have our defensive line and offensive line come out again and do it, and especially in the middle. Tony Mork and Jim Hulsher and Mark Swenson have really done well all season. Mike Nelson and Jeremy Brockmiller have done a good job of shutting down the backs to the outside. So they're all going to have to come up.
Okay, Brent. Good luck, and we'll see you at halftime.
Thank you.
Again, the 9A championship coming up. Irene against Emery. Ethan, both teams 10-1. As we sat and looked at all the matchups, I think this is the hardest one to pick. Who's going to win? Well, we're not going to tell you. We're going to let them play the game and let them determine that. Back with more of our coverage from the Steamy Dome right after this.
One title trophy handed out, still 4 more to go over the course of the next 2 days. We're live at the Dakota Dome on the campus of the University of South Dakota. As you can tell from the USD upside down in the middle of the field, we're on the opposite end of where most of the fans sit. Good opportunity for Tom Neiman and myself to see some excellent games. Again, one last congratulations to Harding County, the champions in 9B. 9A, that's what we'll determine next. It is the Irene Cardinals and the Seahawks of Emery Ethan. Both teams come in at 10-1. Emery Ethan in the final AP poll of the year, rated number 9. Irene, number 5. Tom, your thoughts on this matchup?
We heard the coaches say that Irene's got that explosive offense. They scored 47 points against Vedlin Rossolt in the semifinal game to get here. And I think that's going to be the key, is if the Seahawks can stop David Reuter and Joe Cease and Ben Cease and these guys, from running up and down the field on them. But on the other side of the football, Emery Ethan scores 34 points against Gettysburg in the semifinal win to get here. But they spread it around a little bit more. Mike Yicht, a name we're going to have fun with. Spelled J-U-C-H-T, but it's Yicht. He had an interception return for a touchdown to get Emery Ethan going against Gettysburg there. And then they had 4 other guys score touchdowns in that game. So they'll spread it around a little bit. We'll look for Irene to go with the Cease boys. Joe at quarterback, the older brother, and Ben at running back, the younger brother. Both of those guys can get out and go, and David Reuter will get the ball. But Brent Muchelkanaus talked about his offensive and defensive lines. I mean, that's where they win the ball games. They've got Jim Holscher, a 294-pound senior, at their left guard spot. Mark Swenson is at the other guard, and he's a 245-pound senior. So those two guys is where they win a lot of ball games, running behind those guys, and then they turn around on the defensive line and stop people. So that's the way I see it. I look for some more points. I don't look for an 8-0 ball game in this one.
Again, the more explosive, as you mentioned, Tom, the Irene Cardinals, and kind of indicative of that, I think, is their semifinal win over Oldham Ramona Rutland. Irene was down at the half, 8-0. Bang! 30 points come up in the second half, and they win it to advance to their semifinal game. Or I should have said quarterfinals, excuse me, over Oldham Ramona Rutland. 30-8 was the final score in that one. Joe Sees is kind of the, I know Coach Muchelkanaus wouldn't single out anybody. I think I will for his team, and I will say that Joe Sees is. He is the quarterback. He makes it go on offense. He is the middle linebacker. He is the key man on the defensive side as well. Emery Ethan, from talking with Coach Van Leeuwer, they're the type of team that also wants to establish things inside, but they're more of an just off the end type of runners. They want to get it done inside, and the man who does get it done on the ground for them is Dave Aaron. He will he's just 2 yards shy of 1,500. We're just about ready to greet these teams. The starting lineups from both these teams, the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Greg Merrigan, it's yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the 1993 South Dakota High School Football Playoffs. We hope your stay here is enjoyable. Before we meet the starting lineups, we'd like to bring you this message. Much too often, we are exposed to the examples of poor sportsmanship. That is why the South Dakota High School Activities Association has sponsored a statewide effort to promote good sportsmanship in our schools. You can be part of this effort by displaying good sportsmanship during this state football championship game. And now, fans, let's meet the starting lineups for the Class 9A championship game between the Irene Cardinals and the Emery Ethan Seahawks. At this time, let's meet the offensive unit for the Irene Cardinals. First at an end, number 84, Mike Nelson.
I'll go get him.
At a guard, number 62, Jim Holscher. At center, number 64, Tony Mork. At guard, number 53, Mark Swenson. At end, number 80, Jeremy Brockmuller. At running back, number 21, David Reuter. At running back, number 30, Ben Cease. At fullback, number 40, Jason Sherman. At quarterback, number 16, Joe Cease. And the head coach of the Cardinals is Brent Muchelkanaus. And now let's meet the defensive unit for the Emery Ethan Seahawks. At end, number 88, Chris Jansen. At the other end, number 24, Dusty Roskins. At guard, number 62, Mike Yeck. At the other guard spot, number 60, Rich Hyman. At linebacker, number 30, Dave Arend. At the other linebacker spot, number 17, Steve Ernster. At linebacker, number 32, Jason Riggs. At cornerback, number 12, Tony Klock. And at the other cornerback, number 20, Eric Detterman. The head coach of the Seahawks is Jeff Van Leer. The officials for this 9A championship game, the referee is Ralph Hansen of Pollock. The umpire, John LaFave of Pollock. The linesman is Dennis Moser of Pollock. And the line judge is Kent Meyer of Pollock.
So there you have the lineups and introductions. Everyone's set. Irene in the white, the blue jerseys, gray pants of the Seahawks, and their helmet looks very, very similar to the one out in Seattle.
Almost exactly.
An interesting thing, too, I think that both of these teams who come in with identical 10-1 records, both coaches talked about, believe it or not, the importance of their lone loss. Emery Ethan was in triple overtime to Montrose Canastota, and they built off of that. The only loss for Irene was to Scotland. I believe that one was 12-18. And Coach Muchel-Canal said that his team really reacted to that. You know, in the film session the next Monday, the kids looked at exactly what they need to do to improve. They went out and they did it. And he also blamed himself a little bit. He said, for the coach, he said, it was an eye-opener for me because I was kind of waiting for some things to happen in practice. Everything picked up from that point, and now they're on the turf.
You look at the turnaround after that game. It was the fourth game of the year that Scotland beat them 18-12. And in Irene's next three games, they scored 58 against Baltic, 46 against Wakanda-Gayville-Vollen, and 46 against Parker. So they can run it up. They scored 47 in their semifinal win over Veblen-Rossel. And we're going to look for a lot of points in this one.
Didn't we say that off the top of the first game?
I think I reiterated what I said at the beginning. I looked.
Dusty Oroskins, number 24, has it teed up. He's a senior at 210. It is Reuter and Seeds. 21-16, back deep for the Cardinals. Class 9A championship game is underway. Comes down to Reuter. He's the speed man at the 20. And about a 15-yard pickup out to the 35, where the Cardinals will take over 1st and 10 from there.
If David Reuter is the dangerous one of the bunch, dangerous David Reuter, he's the guy that they'll get outside after they establish a little bit of Ben Sees and Joe Sees going one way. They'll come back with Reuter, and he'll hit you in a hurry for some touchdowns.
So Tom puts a nickname on him. We'll call him Dee Dee. No, we won't. Sherman is the fullback, number 40. Reuter and Sees the wings. Joe hands off to Sherman, straight ahead. He's met at a short game. Only a couple of yards on that one. Both teams fired off the line pretty good.
And Irene is going to try to run over those big guards that they have. Jim Holscher, number 62, is a 294-pounder. Mark Swenson on the other side, number 53, is a 245-pounder. And they'll run behind those guys until somebody stops them.
Leading tackler for the Seahawks is Jason Riggs, the linebacker, 5'10", 160. Again, the double wing. In motion, Reuter. They give to Reuter. And there's some of that speed. First down and more. David Reuter will, on the second play, take it all it does the same. 64 yards for the touchdown.
And if you look at it again, it wasn't that the pursuit from the inside wasn't there. It was just that David Reuter got out, and he outran people right when he turns the corner. Dave Aaron was there, Detterman was there, but Reuter hit that sideline and just took off.
That was in slow motion, too, till we kicked the replay up in fast speed. Oh, 6 on the board already at the 10:50 mark of the opening. The handoff inside Bensees. Muscles his way into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So Bensees with 2. Reuter was 6. Irene already up by 8.
All right, back at the Dakota Dome, lightning has struck here in Vermilion. David Reuter went 64 yards, and then on the 2-point conversion behind Jim Holshard, Ben Cease is the running back, and he takes it in 8-0. Irene jumps out just a minute and 10 seconds into the ball game. 8-0, Irene on top.
Wow, that was quick. The 2 plays for the drive, and again the 64-yard. No wonder Coach Van Leur was worried about the speed of David Reuter.
That is the explosiveness. Now, Emery Ethan can also put some points on the board. They'll spread it out a little bit. Go to Jason Riggs and Dave Aaron.
Mark Swinson tees it up for the Cardinals, and Emery Ethan has his first chance to touch the football. It comes down in the hands of Tony Klopp. He's normally the quarterback back there, bringing this one out across the 30 to the 35. Ironically, the identical spot Irene started from.
Clock, a senior, 60 of 107 passing. He threw for over 1,000 yards, 1,018 during the regular year. The running backs, 30 and 32. 30 is Dave Aaron, 170-pound senior. Jason Riggs, 150-pound senior. And they can both run it up. 1,498 yards for Dave Aaron this year.
Yeah, as soon as Aaron touches the ball the first time, like now, he'll go over the 1,500-yard mark for the season. That's some mighty good running, a pickup of about 4. Let's call it 2nd and 6, and from the 39. Over an 8-yard average for that man.
8.3 to be exact. 179 carries on the year. He's the heavy-duty back. Riggs on the other side, 113 carries. And they ran over Rich Hyman that time, 195-pound senior, and he opened up a little bit of a hole on the right side.
Number 21, Mike Crum, brought the play in. He split far to the left side, not in your screen. High backfield, and the quarterback clock picks up a first down. So 2 plays, a gain of 4 and a gain of 6, and a fresh set of downs for Emery Ethan.
And did you hear the pads popping on that one?
Yes. Both offensive lines have come out to say, all right,
somebody's got to take control of the line of scrimmage in this one. So far, it's been Irene. Well, we can't really say so far. 1 play, 2 plays, and they're in the end zone. But
we saw a quick shot of Jeff Van Leur's 13th year at Emery Ethan. Eye back with the wing left. Handoff. Aaron finding room. Yes, he does. Across midfield and into Cardinal territory. In Coach Van Leur's first year at Emery Ethan, he had 12 kids out for football, and 4 of them were 8th graders.
I'd say he's built up the program.
Yes, he's done a terrific job. Emery Ethan topped Gettysburg, 34-16 to get into this contest. Hitchcock-Tulare as well, and I believe Tom also mentioned opening round win over Weston and Springs by 10. So a nice drive for the Seahawks. Clock up and under his center. That's Yick. And the handoff will come near side to Jetterman. He tries to cut it up, and more of those pads popping that you talked about, Tom, on 2nd down.
Mike Nelson, the left end for the Cardinals, stood his ground there. Joe Cease in the middle, number 16 in the middle, is the leading tackler for Irene. 109 tackles on the year. 183-pound senior is Joe Cease.
3rd down, we'll call it 2. Emery Ethan needs to get to the 44 for the first. Clock barks hands. It goes inside Riggs. He won't get the first down. Jason Riggs, the fullback.
And there's Joe Cease on the tackle along with Tony Mork. Those guys are 1-2 in tackles. Cease 1, and Tony Mork, the 195-pound senior, is the second leading tackler for Irene.
I think that's an interesting combination with number 16 there. He's your quarterback and your middle linebacker.
A hard-nosed quarterback, you know what?
Way back when, way back, that's what I did. It was fun. Got to do them both for a couple of years. So the big third down stop makes it 4th and the same 2. Clock is the punter, but there is a flag on the play.
Jason Moki jumped on the left side of the line for the Seahawks.
So that'll make it 4th down and 7. Not really change the game plan for the Seahawks. It'll still be a punting situation. Clock has averaged 35 yards a kick this year.
We should point out the return man is Mr. Dangerous.
Who could that be?
David Reuter back at about his 10-yard line awaiting the kick.
Mr. Dangerous. Look at, he's almost got the red numeral worn off the front of his jersey. The snap is a good one to Clock. Not much pressure.
Oh.
Good kick back at the 10. Let's make it. Reuter coming near side. Picks up one block. And a nice return out to the 28. With 7:19 left in the opening quarter, Irene leading it 8-0.
Now, you know, if you're Brent Muchelkanaus, you want to get some more points on the board. Hurt them early, so you're up at halftime. And after this play, we'll take a look at the scoring drive on that first touchdown.
Ben Cease, the quarterback, on an inside handoff to brother Ben, who's got room, and a cut back to midfield and across the 40 to the 41 and a first down.
And I think that was the same play that they ran for the touchdown, just to the other side. This one coming to Ben Cease.
Jason Riggs was the tackler, the leading tackler, as Thomas mentioned already.
Here's a look at that scoring drive. 1 minute and 10 seconds off the clock. They took the opening kickoff, ran one play up the gut, and then David Reuter busted loose for that 64-yard touchdown scamper. 8-0 Irene.
3 offensive plays for Irene and 2 first downs already. Inside handoff. This goes to Sherman. No gain. He is met hard by a trio of the Seahawks.
Aaron and Riggs in there on the tackle along with number 60. That's Rich Hyman.
2nd down and 10.
Those 2 inside guards for the Emery-Ethan defense are giving up a lot of pounds to Mark Swenson and Jim Holzer. They're on the Irene offensive line.
Yeah, Holzer 294. Swenson 245. Reuter 175, and he turns the corner again. Cross midfield, cut back at the 40. Can he do it again? Almost. Stepped out at the 23-yard line.
Aaron almost had him in the backfield. He got by him. He got by a linebacker about at the line of scrimmage. And then he made a great move about 10 yards downfield to pick up 20 more yards. And if he wouldn't have stepped on the line, he goes in the end zone again.
You know, we're going to have some heat. Big fun watching this kid
think
run
so. Look at
today.
Dave Aaron's got a beat on him, but he gets a little stiff arm, and Reuter gets outside. And then Clock has a shot at him. And then he turns it on, goes by Riggs right there. And Eric Detterman is the last man, and he brings him down at about the 27-yard line. Make it the 23-yard.
Reuter averaging 50 yards a carry. Handoff Sherman. He'll work the left side. Inside the 20. The 2nd down right from the 20 is where the ball is spotted. Pick up a 3. We'll call it 2nd and 7.
Out of that double wing set, they'll just keep running it at the guard, and then sooner or later you get that little double buck in the backfield going the other way, and that's how they're getting David Reuter outside.
Irene not spending much time in the huddle at all. It's a quick break with the clock on the move. First quarter, 5:50. Cease looking to throw out to the flat. No one there. He was popped hard.
Rich Hyman came busted through there.
Cease has 18 touchdowns, 12 of them rushing, 2 passing, 71 of 120 now on the year, just almost 1,000 yards passing for him, over 1,000 easily on total offense. It's 3rd and 7 from Emery-Ethan's 20. The double wing. Cease looking for the screen, finds it, a one-handed grab and a good one, made by Nelson, who went down for a loss.
Again, Rich Hyman in there causing problems for the Irene offensive line. He's got a little quickness in there. He weighs 195, but he's up against that big offensive guards for Irene, and he's getting a little movement on him to get around it.
That's the 20th catch on the year for Nelson, who is the favorite target.
Mike Nelson, 19 catches coming into the game, 2 touchdowns.
So it's back to the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 10. Joe looking again over the middle, hits off pads, almost grabbed onto it. It hit his shoulder pads and bounced away and then bounced off of Aaron.
And that was 4th down and 10. It's going to go over to the Seahawks now. That ball almost came back to Reuter. After it pops off right there, he almost got a hand on it again.
It was 4th and 10. So saving the touchdown, shall we say, from that 1 second long run of Reuter. Almost broke the second one, but Emery Ethan now back on offense. Starting now from their own 23. Opening quarter. Strong side to the right. Clock. The quarterback will pitch it back to Aaron. He's their big runner. Nice block by Riggs, and it's across the 30 and out of bounds on the near side.
He did get a great block out there from his lead back. Jason Riggs came up and took out the defensive back, and that sprung Dave Aaron for another 6 or 7 yards.
Now let's call it 8, 2nd down and 2.
You see Riggs coming out, number 32, and there's David Reuter, and he just pops him. Hangs him up, and that gives Aaron a chance to get to the sideline, and he picks up another 8+.
So it'll be 2nd down and 2. Out of the eye, quarterback Keith. Clock. Did he make it? Looks like he did. It'll be a 1st down for Emery Ethan. Clock also is well as adept at throwing the football. That is definitely part of the arsenal for Emery Ethan. He has over 1,000 yards passing this year.
And you heard Jeff Van Leeuwer, the Emery Ethan head coach, say that they have got to control the ball. They want some sustained drives, and that's what they're trying to build right here.
Chris Lingeman, number 22, lines up on the upright end. The handoff straight ahead on a power play to Dave Aaron. That was a 1st down run.
Running behind Dusty Roskins over there on the right side of the line. Here's another look. Roskins in there, number 24. He wears 24, but he's a guard, and he opens up the hole there to spring Aaron for about a 3-yard gain.
Second down, 7. Line of scrimmage just across the 37. Their own. The pitch back to Aaron. Turning the corner. Shoulders down, flag down. Close to 1st down territory.
We're going to get an illegal block on Jason Riggs out there this time.
It's a hold. So that negates the near 1st round down run.
Irene linebacker Jason Sherman had come back to shut off the sweep. And Jason Riggs got a hold of his jersey or something in there to hold him up.
Here's what you were talking about, Tom.
Here's another look at it. There's Riggs, 32, going down. And they get him for holding Jason Sherman.
You know, Riggs is a leading tackler for this team, but somehow I don't think he'll get credit for that one in the defensive stats. It's 2nd down, ball in the 27, and long, about 16 needed. Howard to the left side, now in motion. That is Crum. Clock out to Crum on the catch. Not big yards, but still a completion. It'll be 3rd down and 10 or 11. Mike Crum is a senior, 185-pounder.
And Crum was in motion. You see him at the bottom of your screen there, and he comes out Pass is a little high, and he makes a great catch.
And also a good fake and a good job of Aaron carrying out the fake to allow his quarterback a little extra time. 3rd down and 10. Clock will now pull up and look to throw. Picked off. Interception. A big play for Ben Sees. Sees with the intercept, and his team will take over on the offense down about the 33. So Reuters had the big offensive plays. There's the big defensive play by the junior weak side linebacker.
Tony Clock had Jason Mulkey open for a second over there in the middle until Ben Sees turned around. He actually saw it all the way. It was just a matter if he could get his body in position to make the pick.
Sees Ben has 2 points in the 2-point conversion, and he also has 1 interception. There's 2:20 about. Clock on the move, left in the first quarter. Handoff goes to Sees, Ben. And a pickup to the 30. Gain of 4, 2nd down 6. Irene topped Veblen Russell 47-6 in the semifinals. Double wing, popular formation for the Cardinals. Quarterback sneak. Joe Sees just shy of the 25, make it the 26.
And you have to wonder if maybe he calls that play on his own. If he comes up and they've got a wingback play or something called, if he sees something open over the middle, if he can just tuck it in and go.
Following Mork and also Swenson on the right side that time. Nelson, Holscher, Mork, Swenson, Brockmiller across the front. The senior, Joe Sees, will spin and hand off to Sherman. Sherman across the 25, and he'll pick up the 1st down. This offensive drive set up by the intercept by Ben Sees, who just checked into the game.
You see big number 62 there, Jim Holscher. They ran behind him that time to pick up the 1st down as we wind down to the end of the first quarter here.
There's 62 seconds left when the handoff goes to number 9. That's Neil Mellum. And Mellum picks up yards behind the offensive line.
Mellum, they don't run him a lot. He had 20 carries during the regular season. Caught 1 touchdown pass, ran for a touchdown.
He's a junior.
But he'll come in to spell David Reuter and Ben Sees and those guys in the backfield.
And also Travis Nagel, number 20, brings a lot of the plays in from the side. He is lined up now on right end. So Reuter sees Sherman. Inside handoff, Sherman. Someone's got an arm on him at about the 18 on a 2nd down play. It'll be 3rd down and still about 5, or if they give him 1.
Jason Riggs and Dave Aaron both came up and popped him to make the stop. Brent Mulchukanow said the one thing he saw with the Emery-Ethan defense is that they're set up pretty tight. So he wants to get to the outside, wants to run some sweeps and things at Emery.
Maybe they'll run a sweep when we come back, but it's 8-0 right now. It's Irene out in front of the Class 9B title game. Well, I tell you, just seeing Doug and Bobby in that little promo for the early news, it is only 2:50 in the afternoon Central Time. Seems a lot later than that because, of course, we're playing football, but we usually do that at night. And we will be later on tonight as well with the Class 11A title game, where winner, number 1, ranked and undefeated in 11 games, will take on West Central, the Trojans' first trip to the finals. Also, first trip to the finals for Emery-Ethan. You're looking at the huddle of Coach Brent Muchelkanaus and his Cardinals with an 8-point lead.
And maybe it's just me, but I think it is cooling off a little bit now.
Seems like it. It does. You know, I like a good sauna as much as anybody else, but
I like to clear my pores, but
yeah, not here. Not now.
We didn't see the cramps and the things like that that you associate with the heat in that first game, so.
3rd down and 5 from the 18. This will be 2-down territory. If you remember earlier in the first period, Irene went on a 4th and 10, so it's 3rd and 5. Ben Cease in motion. Joe Cease looking to throw, and he hits Reuter. Reuter has room. Reuter will score from 18 yards out.
That was a perfectly executed play. Faked it into the line, got Reuter to the outside, and from there it was all over. They fake it in the line to Ben Cease, I believe.
Boy. Second play of the game, Reuter scores. First play of the second quarter, he's in again from 18.
That is nutty. The fake it in the backfield, and Reuter slips out. Chris Jansen, the Seahawk end, had bit down on the run. And Tony Clock couldn't catch up as David Reuter scores his 2nd touchdown of the game.
So it's 14-0. The 2-point conversion, a non-timed down. The double wing. Reuter in motion. The handoff Sherman straight ahead. His dive was short, so the 2-point conversion is no good. That'll make the score 14-0. Boy, lightning strikes quick in the beginning of the period. You know, from talking with the 9-man coaches, Tom, all of them talked about playing on a 100-yard field. It's not necessarily the length of the field that the coaches talk about, or that makes the difference. It's the width of the field. And for someone like David Reuter, that is a big advantage.
As witnessed on both of his long touchdown run, got to the outside and just turned on the burners. And then here, going into the end zone, he gets out wide where they can't catch up with him.
And also, Irene, throughout the course of this year, did play 4 of their games. So half of the regular season games were on the big field, 4 on the small field, if you wish to call them that. And I guess I wish, because I just did.
During the regular year, Irene, in the second quarter, outscored their opponent 123-22. They averaged 35 points a game, and you can see how they would do that.
Mark Swenson, the senior, has it teed up at the 40. And it'll come down to Aaron at about his own 17. Swallowed up across the 20 to about the 24-yard line.
And look who makes the tackle on special teams. Number 16, Joe Cease, doing a little bit of everything. First quarter stats, the yards rushing, of course, in Irene's favor with the big 64-yard run by David Reuter. Passing yards, not even applicable here. Look at the possession time, 6 minutes. But the big plays to David Reuter, the difference right now.
That's right. The turnover also is a big key there. Dotting the I is Aaron. In motion now is Detterman. The handoff to Aaron, trying to turn the corner, and Reuter will not let him. No gain, maybe a loss of 1 on the play. Line of scrimmage at 23. So it will be second down. Well, they gave him a -2 on that. Second down and 12.
And there's the speedster Reuter again. The defensive line for Irene just strung it out long enough where Reuter could pick an alley and just squirt in there and make the tackle.
It's ED.
The dangerous one.
Dangerous Dave. Clock under his center. Detterman split just a little bit further out to the right. Not much. Pitch back to Aaron. He wants to throw it. He'll go deep. Detterman out of bounds. Detterman has caught 14 passes this year, and when he has, it's gone for generally big plays. He averages 24 yards a catch.
And there's Dave. He can throw it, as you saw there. Travis Nagel, number 20 for Irene, had the coverage along with David Reuter for the Cardinals.
What Emery Ethan has done successfully in the playoffs, Tom, is sustained drives, long drives, especially second half drives. They kept the ball 16 minutes in the second half in the win over Gettysburg, 18 in the second half against Hitchcock-Tulare, and 17 in the second half against Wessington Springs. This is the second quarter, down by 14. Clock looks to throw back, and he does. It's a completed pass across the 30, but short of the first down to Detterman on the 3rd and 12 play. So it'll be 4.
And Tony Clock really could have gone either way that time. He had Detterman over here on the left side of the field. At the other side of the field, Dave Aaron, it looked like they were almost going to set up for a screen pass, but they come back this way to Detterman.
Clock will be back to punt. And Clock will try and knock the ball back, and they're standing on his own 30. It's dangerous Dave. Punt away successfully. Nice spiraling kick. After a couple of bounces, Ruder will try it. Coming to the near side, back across the 35, shy of the 40 to about the 38.
Crum and Jason Moki there to make the tackle for Emery Ethan.
You know, just looking at those helmets with the Cardinal on the side of it, it reminded me, too, that we got some friends of ours from Minnesota playing in a playoff football game. The Laverne Cardinals are playing today. Also, Minneota up by Marshall playing today as well. Timeout on the field. We'll break away with 9:34 to play in the first half. It's 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion for Irene. Emery Ethan has yet to threaten to score. One of the touchdowns set up by an interception from Ben Sees. 1st and 10 from their own 39. The double wing setback with Sherman in the middle. The handoff is to Jason Sherman across the 40 for a gain of a couple. Clock coming up to make the tackle. It's a basically a 4-3 setup on the defensive side with the 2 defensive backs, 3 linebackers for the Seahawks, and that's what Joe Cease is facing. He'll keep, and he'll try it around in. Cut up. Nice job of squaring his shoulders and gaining close to first down yardage on a 2nd down and 7 play. It'll be 3rd and short.
Jeff Heikus in the ballgame for Emery Ethan out at the left end position. Turned that one back inside and got a little help.
12 touchdowns for the quarterback, Joe Cease. He'll keep, and he'll gain the first down. Fresh set, 1st and 10, just short of midfield. Nothing fancy there. It's just let's get the new 4 downs and huddle it up again.
The Irene offensive line is doing exactly what Brent Mitchell-Knaus wanted them to do. Control the line, pick up the first downs when they need it, just move the ball, and then they'll break it open for the big plays once in a while.
Right now it's Nagel, Swenson, Moore, Kolscher, Nelson, across the front. Ruder coming in motion. He'll take the handoff. He gets popped. Ball on the ground and a turnover. On top of it, Dusty Roskins. Jinx. You ever play that when you were a kid?
I got you. I punched you in the arm. So. Number 17, Steve Ernster, I think, made the hit to jar the ball loose, and then Dusty Roskins missed their opportunity. Jumped on it.
Never got control of the ball, did Ruder, off the handoff, it looked like, Tom. Best field position in the game for the Seahawks. Cardinals' own territory. Emery Ethan and Irene, the Class 9A title game. It's 14-0 right now. Team in the white with the lead. Timeout taken by Emery Ethan. There's Jeff Van Loer in his 13th year coming out to talk to the troops. You know, Coach Van Loer says that on offense, you know, the kids like Aaron Clock, he really expects those particular players to make big plays and have the types of numbers that they do. Over 1,000 yards passing for Clock, over 1,500 yards passing or running for Dave Aaron. Tonight, the DeKalb pregame show. That'll be at 7 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Mountain, as our playoff pandemonium coverage from the Dakota Dome will continue. And following that, at 7:30, will be the 11A championship game. The Warriors and the Trojans. Winner, #1 ranked and undefeated West Central with just 1 loss in 11 games will play them. Tomorrow, join us at 5 o'clock when Harrisburg takes on Stanley County in the 11B game. The Tigers and the Buffaloes. Ooh, that really could be a shootout game. And then O'Gorman and Mitchell in the 11AA championship. That's our lineup for you. Clock will line up now in the I. Aaron, the setback. Power is to the left and movement on the left. Mike Crum, number 21, moved a little early.
Legal procedure, offense.
Dead ball foul, so it'll be 1st and 15 back from the 50.
Irene so far in the playoffs has not given up more than 8 points in any one ball game. They gave up 6 to Viborg Hurley, 8 to Oldham Ramona Rutland, and 6 to Veblen Rossel.
Emery Ethan has scored 24, 32, 34. The pitch back to Aaron. Clock will try to help lead it. Not much room over there. Gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and long, about 13.
Joe Cease gets up off the bottom of the pile. Mike Nelson, number 84, was in there. Aaron has had to work for every yard he's picked up so far this afternoon. Hasn't really broken into the backfield and had a chance to put on any moves as of yet.
Chris Lingaman, number 22, brings the play in. Lingaman, a senior at 160, and he will come to the near side, split wide. Split backs for a change in there now for the Seahawks. Clock puts them down at just under 7 minutes. Straight ahead handoff to the 41. The fullback Riggs, who combined with Aaron for 235 yards in the quarterfinal victory over Hitchcock-Tulare. So it was a run fest for those two.
And the penalty comes into play here. Instead of 3rd and 5, you're faced with a 3rd and 10. Much more difficult to pick up 10. On 3rd down.
We'll see what Clock decides to do here. He will roll and look to throw. He will not throw because he was taken down for a loss. Mike Nelson, the first man there, and Brock Mueller finished it. A senior, Jeremy Brockmuller.
Take another look at it. Clock wants to throw. There's Mike Nelson who gets there first, and then Brockmuller finishes him off. Not a chance.
Reuter drops deep. Clock drops to around his own 35 on a 4th down and 19 punt attempt. This is the 2nd quarter. Low line drive, end over end kick. Comes right to about the 13. The Reuter cuts outside. Man, he's got speed. He's fun to watch.
Picks up the ball, looks for the sideline, and says, "Catch me if you can."
You know, it's just not often you see one individual clearly stand out to being that much quicker and that much faster. And last year it was Lieber with Vermillion. This year we may be looking at Reuter right here doing much of the same.
And it makes so much difference with the field position. Instead of at the 20, they start at the 40-yard line.
That's where it's 1st and 10. In motion, Reuter. The inside handoff, Ben Seeds. Nowhere to go, 2nd down and 10.
Rich Hyman stayed right where he was supposed to be on that one to make the stop on Ben Cease.
Hyman, number 60, is a senior, 5'11", 195.
Scott Detterman also in there on the tackle for Emery Ethan.
Scott is number 23. on to 2nd and 10. Ben Cease looks to throw, double pump, man there, connection. Nelson on the catch, Mike Nelson. And a first down, and it's in Seahawk territory.
Nelson and Ben Cease kind of flooded the zone over there. Nelson long and Cease short. And there was only one DB there to take care of them both.
Pretty good job of regrouping, too, for Joe Cease on the pass.
Jason Riggs was up short on Ben Cease.
Out of the huddle and down at the 45. Straight ahead to Sherman. There is a flag on the play, though, but Sherman breaks it big. Jason Sherman across the 20, inside the 10. Right out at about the 10. Let's check the flag. And Ben
like it's
Cease
going to come back.
Yeah, Joe Cease isn't going anywhere. He's standing around the 45, knowing it's coming back, but there's the motion call. Hey, the fullback's showing us some wheels, too.
And, of course, you got to take the opportunity to take your helmet off and let the folks at home see you. Ralph Hansen and the umpiring crew from Pollock here for the 9A championship game.
Tell you,
take another look on the line. Just a bit. Let's see who it's on.
Tell you, I like where the officiating crew is from. When I worked in Bismarck, we used to go down to Pollock when the walleyes was biting. That's why I liked Jared Bass's name in the first half. The pitch to Reuter. No, that's not Reuter. Check that, excuse me.
Neil Mellum on
Mellum, number 9. Second carry in the game, I believe, for Mellum. He's a junior on the toss sweep.
And Irene is closing down on those. Right there, you see Ben Cease get a good block on Dusty Roskins, and they kick it to the outside, kick out on the defensive backs, and that opens up that lane. And Reuter and the rest of these boys, Mellum, are taking advantage.
So that first down play negates the penalty. It's 2nd and 10. There's a toss, and Nelson
one-handed by Mike Nelson.
Down to the 27 and a first down.
Joe Cease just laid it out, and Mike Nelson looked like Fred Biletnikoff with the stickum on his hand making the grab out there.
With the receiver gloves on, he only looks like he needed one of them on his right hand.
He didn't even use that left hand. He knew he could pull it in with the right. After 3 juggles, pulls it in for a big gain for the Cardinals.
So the Cardinal offense attacking once again. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the opening half on the 28-yard line. Joe Cease, the quarterback. Handing straight ahead. It's to Sherman. High steps the man, still on his feet. Down to about the 20. He did not want to go down. Clock said, you're not going to go down. I'm going to shove you backwards.
That's some good moves for a bigger guy, doesn't it? 182-pound senior Jason Sherman lines up at that fullback spot. Straight off right guard. And he gets out and gives a little bit of a juke there to Detterman.
Gain of 8, 2nd down and 2. Nose of the ball you see on the 20. Reuter in motion, the toss sweep to him. Reuter will back his way for a first down. Going forward, going backwards, he still gains yards.
Aarons and Dusty Roskins gave him a pretty good pop there. And this is one of those coach's delight drives. Irene controlling the line of scrimmage.
Oops, my eyeballs deceived me. I thought he had first down. It's 3rd down and short. 101 yards already in the game on 3 carries for Reuter. Oh, there's a break as Ben Cease picks it up and gets the first down and more inside the 10. Or Joe Cease. Did I say Ben? It's Joe.
It's Joe.
Off the hands, off the turf, and he picked it right up and was still able to gain the first down. Headsy play.
And you just put that one down in the break category. We saw Harding County last game lose those kind of balls, but Joe Cease very fortunate that time.
Sherman straight ahead to about the 5. It was 1st and goal from the 8. senior 182-pounder. Came into this game with 725 yards rushing. Minute 20 left in the half. Ben in motion. Ben sees handoff. Bounces outside, and a gain of maybe 1. Might have got to the 3.
88 Chris Jansen fought off a block to make a good tackle for Emery Ethan.
Brent Muchel-Knaus asking for, getting a timeout with 61 seconds left in the half. Of course, you can see where, even though it feels a little bit cooler to us sitting up here, the kids immediately take off their helmets when they get a chance to catch some air. Irene, again, will break this huddle after the timeout with a 3rd and 3. 2 timeouts left for Emery Ethan.
And Irene is 10 plays into this drive. And they would love to stick it in here and take a 3-touchdown lead into the locker room.
Yeah, it was a big second quarter against, or second half rather, against Oldham Ramona Rutland, where they scored 30 points. Right now it's close to being a very big scoring first half for Irene. And much of the fears from Coach Van Loer have come to fruition. Reuter and Sherman, the 2 big guys. The NFL on CBS, doubleheader. Pack and the Saints will be at noon Central Time. Then the Vikings go outside, a mile high, to play Denver. Is that a good combination?
See if that Viking defense can turn it around.
Given up 60 points the last 2 games. Pitch, sweep to Reuter. He cuts it up and he's in. 20-0 right now as Reuter goes 3 yards on that touchdown. An 11-play drive.
And that was just total mismatch on the right side. If you take a look at it again, coming right at you, the Cardinals, it's Sherman out there. They had all kinds of blockers in front of David Reuter, and he just had to wait and pick his spot to get into the end zone. 3rd touchdown. Can I put in a vote for first half MVP right now?
I don't think you'll have any argument. The 2-point conversion. C's looking to throw, has a man a little too high for Ben in the back of the end zone. So with 55 seconds left in the half, it'll stay 20-0. It was an impressive drive as far as time of possession. Striking quick, the Cardinals did on their first touchdown, but this one went 4 minutes and 25 seconds, 60 yards, 11 plays. You know, when you get double digits on a scoring drive, it's hard to wipe the smile off a coach's face when he sees that. Loves it.
Brent Muchel-Knaus, one of the most laid-back guys you will ever meet, but I think he was smiling after that drive. But he knows there's a second half of football yet to play, and Emery Ethan has those running backs in Dave Aaron and Jason Riggs. Tony Clock will try to get that passing game cranked up for the Seahawks in the second half.
At the second half break, we'll bring you a story on the National High School Rodeo all-around title winner from Wentworth. Played football at Madison. Hey, that's something, huh? Best of the best. Notice I didn't say who it was. That's what we call a tease.
Quit teasing.
Swenson's kick
is a boomer.
Over the head of Aaron into the end zone. Touchback. That was pretty close to being right on the line, but it was ruled dead ball in the touchback. As soon as it goes in, the whistle blows, and it comes out 1st and 10 from the 20. So the offense with 20 on the board. The defense, with the way the offense is playing, has been somewhat overshadowed, huh, Tom? But it's Cardinals putting a shutout on the board right now. But Tony Clark will try to change that as he brings his offense out and goes to the quarterback keeper straight up about 5, 2nd and 5 from the 25.
Emery Ethan does have one timeout left to work with.
Clock number 12 in the keeper.
So it doesn't look like Jeff Van Leeuwen will try too much fancy stuff. 30, about 30 seconds left. You see it winding down. Maybe you throw the home run.
Maybe you get Chris Jansen or one of these guys open out there.
Crum goes wide to the right at the top of the screen. 2nd down and 5. Clock will keep it straight up the middle again. Time will expire at the end of the first half with the scoreboard reading 20-0. Well, I have a word to describe that first half. I would call it impressive. Extremely impressive. Mark Obenin is standing by with Brent Luchel-Knaus. I'll bet the coach likes this first half too, huh, Mark?
I'd say he's probably pretty happy as he's congratulating his players as they go by. Brent, how can you describe how happy you must be after the way your kids just played?
Well, they're playing great. We've had a couple of good breaks. Dave Reuter has broken a couple of plays that really loosened things up for us. But we still have to play another half of football, and we want to continue to play the way we have. We can't have any letdowns because they're a little bit too good a team. They've gotten here by being good. We're going to have to continue like we have been playing.
As good as your offense has been, the thing that's impressed me the most, above and beyond David's explosiveness, is the fact that you've really shut them down.
Well, it's been a strong point for us all year. We've got a good defensive line. Our linebackers pursue well, and our safeties are pretty smart. They've really learned a lot in the last half of the year. They don't get burned too deep on the passes, and they come up and play the run real well. The second half, the kids are getting tired. You know, it's going to be tough for them to continue, but they've got the heart. I think.
Just give David the ball more.
Well, he's getting pretty tired too, but yeah, every time he gets the ball, he's a threat.
Great first half.
Thank you.
All right, our score here at halftime in an incredible, just a dominating performance, Irene, 20-0 over Emery Ethan. We've got another half to go. Stay with us.
We're between halves, the 9A championship game. Larry Borgum says these are our numbers on the Norwest halftime statistics, Tom.
And yes, Marco and Lee, they are a little lopsided besides those two on the bottom there. One turnover apiece, and the time of possession deceiving again, but the yards rushing 171 to 40. The first downs are 9-2 in favor of the Irene Cardinals. 2 first downs in the first half for Emery Ethan, and they are going to have to find a way to get Dave Arend open, get Jason Riggs a little room to run back there. Irene can score, or Emery Ethan can score some points in a hurry, 34 against Gettysburg in the semifinal game, but they've got to get that line of scrimmage under control to where they can move those guys out of there and get Aarons and Riggs a little running room.
And I think if you look at the two backs, the main backs for the teams, you know, Reuter and Aarons, it's indicative of the way the half went, because Dave Arend has 27 yards rushing of that 400. Reuter, who carried the ball 4 times, has 104 yards rushing out of that 171. So, you know, kind of in a capsule, taking a look at the two key backs, the two big play guys, kind of tells the story in that first half.
And the scary thing for Emery Ethan is that 20 is not going to stay on the scoreboard for Irene. They are going to come out and pound the ball right back at Emery Ethan, just as they have. And if you're Emery Ethan, I can't wait to hear what Coach Jeff Van Leeuwen has to say about that first half. Because if I'm him, I don't see where I'm going to score some points here in the second half.
Maybe you try up the air or something along that line a little bit more, but yes, indeed, the things that they tried to do on the offensive standpoint, trying to establish the runs from end to end, didn't really work. Clock, you know, trying to pass, well, he was picked off once and harassed plenty of times as well. This is where the coaches make their money, huh? Well, those Irene fans, cheerleaders, are happy their team leads it by 20. Back to Vermillion. We're inside at the Dakota Dome on Kelloland TV. Well, Well, normally on a Saturday afternoon, a team clad in red does a very good job on this football field. The USD Coyotes, they'll try that tomorrow against St. Cloud, but the team whose dominant color is red, the Irene Cardinals, have been dominant in the first half, and I think we still talk about the guy who's done it, huh, Tom?
Oh, yeah, it's been Reuter. Right and left and everywhere and into the end zone. David Reuter's second play of the ball game for Irene comes out and goes 64 yards down the sidelines. Ben Cease adds a 2-point conversion. It's 8-0. And then after a Ben Cease interception, we go to the second quarter, and Joe Cease finds, guess who? David Reuter. And I think we've got a replay here of that last touchdown. Nice hat.
Hey, helmet head. No, football head. Pigskin head.
There's some ugly stitches there. And there was David Reuter on that last touchdown run with 55 seconds left in the first half. 20-0 Irene, and you know they're going to add a couple of touchdowns in the second half. It's just that Emery Ethan has got to come out. Yeah, we're going to find Jeff Van Leur here in a minute and get his opinion. I don't know what they need to do, but
I know it'll be interesting to find out what the main topic of conversation was, whether it was on the offensive side or the defensive side. I'm sure there's a little bit of both, but yeah, when you haven't scored, you've given up 20, youch, it's a little tough task. The Seahawks already out, stretching, getting things loosed up. The coaching staff is still inside talking things over. And the Irene Cardinals will come on the field, and their fans will be very up, as is the team.
There's Dave Aaron, number 30. He's trying to get his teammates a little jacked up for this second half. And the Irene, you can't say it any other way. They dominated the first half in about every phase of the football game.
All right, Coach Van Leur, Mark Ovenen, side by side. What do you got?
Well, Jeff, what do you say to your team at halftime after a first half like that?
Well, you know, we got away from what we were doing a little bit, and they've controlled the line of scrimmage. Give them credit. You know, they took charge of the line of scrimmage, and we're coming back out this half to try to get ourselves back in and take the charge a little bit. The
dilemma you kind of find yourself in is you like to control the football, and there isn't a whole lot of time. You got 2 12-minute quarters and really can't afford long drives, can you?
No, we can't. You know, the time's going to be, we talked to kids about that. You know, we've used the clock well, and now the clock's against us. We got to come out and get after it right away here.
Are you going to start going for the ball and trying to create big plays?
Well, I think so. You know, we've just missed some big tackles here. You know, had some chances to make some tackles and just haven't got the job done, and so it's our backs against the wall. It's time to do it.
Big plays are going to happen, but actually the key for them is I think they've really stopped you at the line of scrimmage.
Right, they have. They've controlled the line real well. Give them credit. You know, they've shut us down quite a bit there, and we've got a couple kids hurt now that been hurt us a little bit too, but they've done a good job on us.
Okay, Jeff. Good luck in the second half. Our score 20-0, Irene, and they have dominated the scoreboard, dominated the stats, dominated the turf. Both teams are playing whether it's hot or not in here, guys, and so far it's been very one-sided.
Yeah, it's been an explosive first half. That was a word that Coach Van Leur used, Tom, when I talked with him earlier in the week in describing the type of team that Irene is. We have seen it so far in this game.
And you heard him talk about along the line of scrimmage is where you win most of these ball games, and he's given up a lot of size along that line of scrimmage, and you just don't come out and say, yeah, we do this little step different on the line, and we get guys open for some long runs here. And you also heard him talk about that time of possession, and you saw it in the first half. It was 12-11, I think, in favor of Irene. So, they're not going to be able to go on any long extended drives if they want to get back in this ball game. They're going to have to come up with some big plays. And I think we're going to take a look at the man that's pretty much dominated the first half for the Irene Cardinals. The man with the ball right there is David Reuter. This is his 3rd touchdown of the football game, coming on a little 5-yard run just before the half. He adds that to a 64-yard run on the second play of the football game, and a pass from Joe Cease, and that adds up to 20 for Irene. And they're not going to quit with the offense in the second half.
No, siree. Nice kick-out block, too, by the way. I think it was Ben Cease, number 30, that got out to help lead Reuter into the end zone. So we've had a 2-play 65-yard drive, a 6-play 34-yard drive, and an 11-play 60-yard drive, all for touchdowns. 1 2-point conversion was good.
Irene leads 20-0 on Emery-Ethan. We're approaching kickoff of the second half. And here come the Cardinals.
And it will be Swenson, number 53, that'll tee it up at the 40. And Emery-Ethan breaks huddle on or out their own 5. And the kick return team out on the field, led by the quarterback and the running back. Clock, number 12, the quarterback, the running back, Aaron, number 30. They're both deep. And it truly is a must for the Seahawks to put something together offensively in the early stages of the third period. Look at Borgie's got his pin already. The lull's over, Lair. Here we go. We're underway in the second half. Line drive kick taken at about the 11 by Aaron. Nobody close to him till he reaches all the way up to the 30. Spotted about the 31. And a 1st and 10.
Jay Blankenfeld on special teams made the tackle for Irene.
First and 10 on 31.
And they just sit in that bowling pin formation, 4-3-2, and come up and hit you at the line of scrimmage.
The backfield is Clock, Riggs, and Aaron. Detterman, number 20, in motion. Straight ahead, give to Aaron. Dives his way, tripped up at about the 30, but still got positive yards. Maybe 2 on the play. Second down and 8 from the 33. Was tripped up, pretty good head of steam there. He just vaulted forward.
Pretty good header, didn't he?
Chris Jansen, 88. Dusty Roskins, 24. Mike Yip, 62. Rich Hyman, number 60. Jason Moki, number 54. The front line for Emery-Ethan. Second down and 8 play. In motion, Crum. Clock will keep it. Roll to the near side. Looks for Moki. Now
there he
throws it in and out. And when it's not going right, it's not going right. Right between the 5 and the 4, Moki didn't hang on.
Clock made a nice little move to slip away. Just kept looking until the defense came to him, and then he dumped it right into Moki's hands, and he just couldn't hang on.
So instead of 1st and 10, we're staring at 3rd and 8.
There's Jeremy Brockmuller, also almost brings him down for a loss. And then Moki just took his eye off it.
Yep, that should have been an elbows in catch. It was an elbow out. Out of the eye, 2 receivers. Split to the right, in motion. Aaron looking to the right now, over the middle. Over the head of Detterman, but into the hands of number 44 for Emery-Ethan. And that is Jeff Heikes.
And that is the connection they've been looking for. The Emery-Ethan fans are on their feet. They want to see some offense out of this team, and that's Tony Clock. Nice looking pass.
You know, Heikes had a tough decision to make, him and his parents, earlier in the playoffs. To go to Washington on a trip that he earned from his student activities or play football. They went to Washington, now he's playing football. Big 1st down grab and a 1st down play for Aaron. It goes for a lot of yards to the east, not many to the north. On a 1st down play, give him about 4, 2nd down and 6.
And you just get that sense that the Emery-Ethan line is a little jacked up here. They know this first drive is very, very important in this ball game.
Heikes the end on the right side, Moki the end on the left side. Tony Clock fakes the handoff, has an open man, and there is Aaron. Across the 25, knocked out at about the 20, and there's what we talked about, and you know that the Seahawks talked about needing an offensive drive. We're looking at one.
Dave Aaron in your picture right there. He and Tony Clark, the two senior leaders, along with Jason Riggs in that backfield, and they are going to be the boys that are going to get it done for the Seahawks.
Off the play action as well.
Aaron just slips out. He had all kind of room once he brought the ball in. Deepest, I believe, they've been in Irene territory all afternoon.
That's the 20-yard line. In motion, Crum. Handoff. Across the 20. Pickup of about 2 for Aaron. Second down from the 19.
And there's Mike Yicht. He kind of slipped on his tackle there, or that would have gone for a few more yards for Dave Aaron.
He's a 6'4", 220-pound senior. Number 62. Plays both ways.
I think he might have shook up a knee there a little bit.
This is quarter number 3 of the Class 9A title game. 9 minutes to play in the quarter. Detterman in motion. This time off the fake, the pump. Detterman looking long. He's got it for the touchdown. Eric Detterman off the pump fake.
That was just a super effort by the quarterback, Tony Clark. I think when we take a look at it here again, you'll see him avoid some pressure. He knows he's going to get whacked from the backside, and he just laid it in perfect for Eric Detterman. Gives him the little pump there. And I think it was Brockmuller coming from the backside, but look where the pass is. Didn't even break stride. And we got a ball game lead.
Yes, nice shot, gentlemen. Nice replay. Showed exactly what Tom was talking about. The 2-point conversion from the 3 in motion again is Crum. This time they'll pitch to Aaron. He's got a legion of blockers. Cuts back. Will he make it? Oh, the second effort's a little bit short. So it's 20-6. The score with 8:46 left to go in the third. Irene with the lead. Irene 20, Emery Ethan 6. And the big gun, Aaron, looks like he's favoring a lower limb. Somehow I don't think it'll keep him out of the game, though.
I don't think so. And those extra points, you can't stress enough how important it is to get in and get 8 out of the deal instead of 6. But that was just what we were talking about, just what the doctor ordered for Emery Ethan. A quick drive. They don't take up a lot of time on the clock. And speaking of clock, Tony Clark on that last play, you can't say enough about staying in there and then delivering the perfect pass to Eric Detterman.
Yeah, that was a perfect example of why he came into this game with over 1,000 yards through the air. But it was 7 plays, 69 yards in the scoring drive. 3:14 off the clock, as you mentioned, Tom. That's pretty quick, pretty efficient. Dusty Roskins puts it in play at his own 16. Reuter across the 30 to the 35, spinning to the over the 40. Boy, once he gets ahead of steam up, it takes a steam engine to bring him down.
Tony Clark came up and just popped him, and Reuter just spun off and kept going. Big first half for David Reuter. We'll see if they go back to him in the second half.
104 yards rushing on 4 plays. 4 carries for Reuter. To follow up on what you were talking about, Tom. Joe Sees and Sherman. Jason Sherman, big opening, and the fullback runs through a couple of tackles. Out of bounds across the 30 to the 29. Wow, how's that back at you after the touchdown?
They just have so many weapons. Sherman, Reuter, Ben Sees, Joe Sees. And here it is again. You see 62, Mike Yicht, came all the way from his guard position to finally run Sherman down on the sideline. But he is big and strong.
29,
hard to bring down.
29 yards on that run.
And yeah, that is a bit of a backbreaker when Emery Ethan's trying to get the momentum built up on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I don't think it really becomes a backbreaker unless the Cardinals score on this drive. From the 29, hey, Sherman will try it again. And again, he gains pretty good yardage on a 1st and 10 play up to the 22, gain of about 7. Let's hand out a little credit to Mike Nelson and Jim Holscher on the left side of that offensive line.
Tony Mork, the big center, number 64.
Same formation. Reuter on the left side of the wing. Ben Sees on the right side. The fake to Sherman. The handoff to what? No gain on the play to Reuter.
Excellent play by Rich Hyman. Kind of came underneath his man. Just got a fingertip on Reuter's shoelace there and brought him down.
Third down and 3. The championship trophy has already been determined today. If you weren't with us at the beginning, Harding County with an 8-0 victory over Castlewood. Inside handoff, Ben Sees. And reading the play and staying home and fighting his way off a block was Aaron. To bring down Ben close to first down yardage, though.
And that's another one of those caused by the ground fumbles.
And
the crowd doesn't think so, but
we'll take the kinks out of the link, stretch the chain, and see if he made it.
Borgie, what do you say?
Short by a smidgen is Larry Borgham.
The guy is incredible.
Oh,
they
no,
didn't get it.
Give it to him. They made it by the inch. Borgie instead of being just close. Larry Borgham, of course, joining us. Our statistician for our first 2 games. He has to get back to the Augustana game tomorrow. Mark Haugen will join us a little bit later tonight. But it is a fresh set of downs. A 1st and 10 pitch. Goes to Reuter. He'll cut it back up across the 20, across the 15, excuse me, near the 10. Mark it at about the 11. And Riggs coming up slowly. Jason Riggs, number 32. Walks slowly back to his defensive position. It was a gain of 8, 2nd and 2 from the 11. Sees hands off to Sherman. First down and more. Powers inside the 5. Throw up the arms. He's in for a touchdown. 11-yard touchdown run.
Can we use the Sherman tank reference here?
Yes, I think we can. We've been holding off for the appropriate time. And I think you pulled the trigger at the right time, Tom.
He went through 1 tackle. He went through 2 tackles. Clock couldn't quite bring him down. Detterman couldn't get him. And he just kept bulling into the end zone.
11 yards for Jason Sherman to make it 26-6. The try for 2-point will be a pass. Sees, looks, throws. Joe to Ben. Yes. It's a connection for the touchdown. 28-6 is now the score with 5 minutes and 53 seconds left to play in the 3rd period.
That was the backbreaker.
Yep. That may have been it. Nice read, too, by Joe Sees. Threw almost off his back foot. Looked like his momentum, was taking him a little away from the play. Pretty good zip on that pass. They shine on the Sees to Sees play. The touchdown drive, 6 plays, 58 yards. A fairly quick strike and a big answer to Emery Ethan's touchdown. 2 minutes and 53 seconds was the scoring drive. The kick bounding the clock at about the 13. Buck with a nice return straight up the field. He will start his offense at about the 33.
Joe Sees is just a football player, you know it?
Leads the team in tackles. Which is what he'll be playing now, middle linebacker. And of course,
already had 2 on the punt, the special teams coverage today. In their semifinal win over Veblen-Rossold, he threw for 2 touchdowns, ran for another, had an interception, and led the team with 7 tackles.
Yeah, that qualifies him.
Hey, player of the week, maybe, huh?
Handoff to Detterman. They'll try to sweep along the right side. Got a whole lot open over there. The defense, I think, Tom, for the Cardinals has been flowing exceptionally well. How many times have they forced the cutback and then nothing gained after the running back for the Seahawks, Emery Ethan, has made his cut?
Those times they don't get right to the ball carrier, they string him out long enough where they can come up with the linebackers and make the stop.
Perfect flow, perfect containment. That 4-3 set with the 2 backs. Clock will look to throw against it. The screen. Oh, he's in trouble. And he underhands it on a pass attempt that did not connect with Chris Torgerson. But it did avoid the big loss.
And Ralph Hansen wasn't quite sure if he was going to call that an incomplete pass or not.
Well, the eligible receiver was there.
Was in the area.
That's Torgerson. But it's 3rd down, though, and 7. Boy, Brockmuller was in there quickly. Number 80, Jeremy Brockmuller. Out of the eye, 2 receivers, far side. Now in motion, Aaron into the neutral zone. Steps. Number 62, Yick. That'll make it 3rd down and 2. Boy, is it much easier to call a play that way, huh? 3rd and 2 as opposed to 3rd and 7.
Emery Ethan wants to come right back and answer that touchdown before the 3rd quarter expires there. A lot of ball game left.
And Detterman just runs over to Coach Van Loer, gets the play and brings it in himself. On the penalty, the clock stops at 4:40. Left to play in the 3rd period. In motion, Detterman. Clock will look to pass. Wide open is the receiver.
Jeff
Hikus, number 44, Jeff Hikus, wide open.
That was a beautiful misdirection play. Brought everybody to the left side. Give the fake to Aaron and then slip Hikus out into the flat on the other side. Big gain, big 1st down for the Seahawks.
Yeah, that was Hikus earlier in the play. I think I called him Chris Torgerson, 44 for the other team. But yes, it was Hikus who was the intended receiver on that mad scramble. And now he is the intended receiver for a 1st down and in Cardinal territory. That's a big play to keep this drive alive. Out of the split backs, clock will look to throw. This screen to the near side. There's 3 people in front of Aaron, but it did not gain many yards as it goes out at about the 42, a gain of only 3. Initially, it looked like there was more yards to be had on that play.
Looked great until the point of contact. They had it set up, but then the blockers slipped by the defenders, let him get by, and Dave Aaron was pretty much on his own after he got the football. Set it up very well. He's got 3 men in front, but then he's on his own as Ben comes up and knocks him out of bounds.
Not so gently.
Stop. Gain of 4 on the play.
It's a 2nd down and 6. See how I did that new math to figure that out, Tom?
You are incredible.
Whoa, it's called subtraction. Losing yards, but not losing the ball. Clock jumped right back on top of it. Here's a good look at what happened.
One of those power hikes that just came right up into his face mask.
You know, we've seen too much of that so far today. Harding County had some trouble with some exchanges between center and quarterback, and there was another one in this contest. 28-6 is the score. The White Irene Cardinals have the lead. Rolling out, man in his face. Jump pass, it could be picked off, and it is. Far side.
Jason Sherman
number 40.
made the pick.
I saw the 0. I didn't see the 3 or the 4, whether it was Seas or Sherman. It was indeed Sherman. The man who scored the last touchdown has this turnover.
On a pass that really shouldn't have been thrown in that area. Tony Clark would have been better off to throw that one right to the sideline, right out of Brent Muchaknouse.
But it was a third down play, though, Tom, and under heavy pressure.
Got some pressure from Mike Nelson.
Clark had to get it away. The turnover, the handoff to Sherman. Give it to the guy who just picked it off, and he will bring it across the 35, closer to the 40. First and a gain of 5 on the first down play. We'll call it 2nd and 5. The handoff to Ben Seas. First down. Gain of 6. I believe we're about to see the drive to attempt to methodically pound it down.
And they're still ripping off big chunks of yardage, 5 and 6 yards every carry. Emery Ethan can't find a way to stop him on that big offensive line that Irene has in there with Holscher and Swenson and Mork.
The handoff to Mellum up the middle, cross midfield, breaking tackle, still on the move, pulled down at the 44. Neil Mellum on a 1st and 10, he gets 11.
All of these Irene backs nowhere to go once they get past the line of scrimmage. He breaks it through here, and then once he gets to the secondary, he's looking for holes and finding them.
Fullback is star stat number 32. The handoff will go to Torgerson, and another big gainer on the far side. Whoa. Offensive line taken over. Torgerson, Chris. The junior. And you can see how Irene substitutes very generously. Of course, that's hats off to the team and the depth and the way Coach Mucho Knaus can use his talent. 2nd down and very, very short. Let's make it a 1st down again. Since the interception, and every 1st down of this drive, Tom, they haven't even needed a 3rd down play. It's been 1st downs off of
the dive plays.
One or 2 tries.
One behind the big guards. Travis Nagel and Chris Torgerson in the backfield.
And Seas looks to throw. He connects. Reuter, far side. Did he dive ahead for the 1st down? He is very close to it.
Stayed in bounds to keep the clock running.
Little short. It will be about a ½ yard short. So mark at the 22, make it a 2nd and 1. And Irene able to keep fresh people in the game.
And I was just going to say that Emery Ethan defense has got to be getting wore down a little bit. Yicht and Hyman and Jansen and Roskins.
The handoff to Sherman, quick pullback up the middle for another 1st down. And again, play 3 was not needed. 41 seconds. So we're at the tail end of the 3rd. That's how much is left.
A 7-yard pickup, a Cardinal 1st down.
Watch the 3 interior linemen for Irene.
That's Holscher. Mort Swenson dropping back to pass. Sees he has time. Joe looking, directing, looking.
Uh-oh, there's a fumble.
There's
32 is Jason Riggs.
Riggs with the turnover, but I think it was taken right out of his hand by number 44, Heikes.
Sees is looking and looking and looking. Now Hyman's right there, 60. 44 is Heikes. And he does the LT swipe to knock it away, and there's Jason Riggs to fall on it for Emery Ethan.
Okay, even though that's a big play for Emery Ethan, and even though it's a turnover, it still accomplished what Irene wanted done. Take some time off the clock, well, you know, nice big long drive, and Emery Ethan will take over with their own territory, but first we got to do this. Into 3, 28-6, Irene leads it. 12 minutes left to play in this one. Irene with a 22-point lead. The Sherman interception led to a pretty good drive, and then the turnover. It was a very nice play by Heikes. But again, if you take a look at where the drive starts, Tom, I mean, they need to go 77 yards for the touchdown. That'd be 67 yards, excuse me. So I'm not so good at this new math.
And it would be 77.
I should have brought a calculator.
You know, it's that whole 40-50-40 thing. It just doesn't go up to 100.
Well, you know, I used to, when I worked in North Dakota, we went up to Canada and watched the CFL game in Regina every year, the Rough Riders, and maybe I think it's the center line instead of the 50. You buying it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I got away with one. Clock down the middle. He has a man there. Detterman pulls it in. And a big play on first down. Into Irene territory. Just like that, the big chunk of those 77 yards eaten up.
And once again, Tony Clock just laid it right in for Eric Detterman. Didn't break stride. And that's got the Seahawk faithful a little jacked up now. Here's another look. Kind of a rainbow pass, but it was right on the money.
Had to loop it over Sherman, and he did.
Wasn't bad defense.
From the 38, 1st and 10. Wide way to the near side is Mike Crum. Not even in your picture, but the spinning handoff goes to Aaron. And he is driven back, forward progress to about the 37.
Mark Swenson was there for the tackle along with Joe Cease, number 16 there.
Short gain. Call it 1. 2nd down and 9. Heikes split right. Riggs split left. Clock looks to throw. Over the middle is screenplay. Down to the near side.
Got it set up. Let's see what they can do with it.
Aaron following his blocker. He's got the sideline. High, stepping his way on the end zone.
Oh, baby.
No flags, 38 yards on the touchdown play. Dave Aaron comes through with the 2nd TD of the game for Emery Ethan.
Beautifully set up, and this time beautifully executed. Once they got the ball to Dave Aaron, they had the numbers out in the flat. Here's another look. Clock doing just what he needs to do to get it out to Aaron, and then who's he got in front of him? There's Hyman. There's 62, Mike Yicht. And Dave Aaron is gone.
Boy, that was right down on the sideline, too. A couple of those footsteps came very close to the line, but he stayed in and he got in for a touchdown. It's 28-12 right now. Working on a helmet before the 2-point conversion. And now the Seahawks looking to trim the lead exactly in half. Little confusion in the backfield, but there's the setup. And clock will roll. And look, can it get to the corner? Monkey. Yeah, Monkey right there.
Stayed with him.
Monkey with the 2-point conversion. That makes it 28-14. Emery Ethan strikes back. Let's see how clock somehow completes this. Moki just stopped and clock found him.
Almost a two-handed chest pass out there. Third quarter stats look like this. Emery Ethan still not putting a lot of yards on the stat board, but hey, 2 quick scoring drives have put him right back into the ball game.
That's through 3 quarters on the Northwest Banks third quarter stats. Quickie look there because that play for the touchdown with a 39-yarder and a 37-yarder came in the 4th period. I wouldn't be totally surprised if this is a onside or squib kick, but we'll see what happens. Yes, it is. Onside kick and covered up on the far side nicely.
Mike Nelson, I think, was all over it.
84 is Nelson's number.
But I think that's Tony Mork, 64.
He is the center. He'll snap the ball to Joe Sees after covering up on that.
Let's take another look at the touchdown pass from Tony Clock to Dave Aaron on the screen pass. Gets outside. He got a block from Heeman. He got a block from Yicht. Then he just high steps it down. Joe Sees couldn't catch up with him.
Straight ahead. The surge goes near midfield. This drive starting from the 47, of course, as the onside attempt came down to the Cardinals. 10 minutes left to play in the game. Irene, a champion in Class 9B 2 years ago when these seniors were sophomores, beating Harriet Pollock 14-0 in that title game. Here's the handoff to Ben Sees. Cross midfield, a gain of a couple. That was literally a tackle by the shoe. Took it right off.
Tony Clock shut it off on the outside and just hung on to Ben's ankle to bring him down.
That'll stop play as the equipment gets a chance to go back in. I should say. 3rd down and 6 from the 49. The touchdown pass was 37 yards was a connection to Aaron.
Jeff Van Loer needs one big stand out of his defense right here.
Sherman has 83 yards on 14 carries, number 40. Reuters carried the ball just 6 times, but he has 112 yards rushing. He's number 21. And on the lower part of your screen, looking to pass. Screen is set up and tipped nicely by the defense. Not enough loft on that one from Sees. Had it gotten there, there'd have been some yards to follow.
And I didn't see who got a hand on the pass. But did you see the rush at the quarterback?
Yeah, they're all 4 of them.
That
coming down
was an undisguised screen.
Now it's 4th down. Reuter will punt. The high kick to Aaron at the 16. Oh, the special teams play by the man who's, well, quite frankly, the leader of this team, Joe Sees. The linebacker, the quarterback, and the specialist on special teams. It was kind of interesting at the beginning of the season, too, for Irene, starting in Class 9B, where they won the title 2 years ago, but after the reclassification meetings, I believe, which was after week 3, they went from number 1 ranked in Class 9B to about 3 or 4 in Class 9A, and here they are in the 9A title game. Clock with the inside handoff. Not much there. for the senior Aaron.
Aaron, the ball carrier. Pick up of a yard.
And Irene has pretty much put the clamps on Dave Aaron. Seems like he's going to break one through there in the middle, but they get an arm on him, and then they get another arm on him, and he just can't quite break loose.
Aaron, 12 carries, 36 yards. So yes, holding a gentleman who, throughout the course of the entire year, averaged over 8 yards a carry, down to 3. Top-notch defense there. Second down and 9. Line of scrimmage called to 12. Clock off the play action. Throws it, and Reuter picked off. He's got a track to the end zone. Did he make it? Not quite. Down at the half-yard mark. Reuter almost turns the interception into the touchdown.
1 yard line. Knocked out of bounds by number 12, Tony Clock. The Cardinals will take over. First and goal.
27.5-yard return.
Clock didn't get a lot on the pass. He was looking for Hikus out there, but he wasn't anywhere near it. And David Reuter takes it back to the half-yard line.
So 4 cracks from about 18 inches or so away. Let's see how the Cardinals go. The safest way, the quarterback sneak. Second effort is in. So Josie has the touchdown, and it's 20, or tack on 6 more on top of the 28, 34-14. Dave, here's what happened during our weather update. The point after kick off the foot of Joe Sees goes right through the uprights to make it 35-14. And again, stay with us after this ball game. The early news coming up at 5 o'clock, and Dave will give us an extended weather outlook. And yes, indeed, when we took off, Tom, from Sioux Falls at 8 o'clock this morning, by the time we got to Beersford, the Viborg exits, already on the underpasses, there was a little slickness down there on the interstate, so it can only get worse. And stay tuned to Kelloland for all your weather details.
Big Dave will take care of you.
After the interception,
Joe
second effort.
Sees, yes. Stuffed at the line by Riggs, but he slides off and goes in, and of course it was set up by the David Reuter interception that he returned down to the 1 yard line, and Irene looks to be in excellent shape, 35-14 with just over 7.5 minutes left to play.
7:34 to be exact left in the fourth. And yes, a 21-point lead. Doesn't only look good, it looks marvelous.
Marvelous for the red and white. And if you're wearing a Seahawk helmet, a lot of things going through your mind right now. You know you're not out of the ball game, but you look up there and see 7:34 left in the game, and it concerns you. We'll see what the Seahawks can come up with.
Swenson, Mark Swenson, number 53, the senior, 245, tees it up, and it comes down to clock at the 15. He's gained 15 on the return to the 30.
Look who made the tackle again. 16, Joe Cease, along with number 52, and that's Jared Olson, a sophomore.
Yeah, desperation, I guess, is a word that pops into my head at this point.
It has to pop into your mind here pretty quick.
But the thing that was most impressive, I think, Tom, is after the nice drive that Emery Ethan had, the 2 pass plays, the 37-yard touchdown, the Cardinals answered right back. Clock looks to throw down the middle, a floater knocked away by Travis Nagel, the safety. And it was intended to Moki, who is the end on the left side on that particular play. Second down and 10. Crum is on the left side, but in a pass situation, looked to set up the screen to Crum. It's over his head. But boy, look at Sherman was right there, and he was waiting for Mike to catch that one.
They had pressure all over the field that time, not only on the receiver, but on the quarterback, just as they have the whole ball game.
It's 3rd down and 10. Clock has Detterman to the near side on a 3rd and 10 play. And it looks like the reverse to Detterman, who wants to throw. Moki wide open. At midfield, and he caught it. Big 3rd down play. A gain of 20. And it keeps the drive alive.
And the Seahawks really execute the passing game well here, the razzle-dazzle well. You know, they can run the screen, and then Detterman couldn't miss Jason Moki. All he had to do was get it there.
Right behind Ben Sees and in front of Travis Nagel. Clock on the move with 6:20 left. Emery Ethan. Pass to Moki is complete and out of bounds. Up near the 40, looks more like the 41. But it was a 9-yard gain on 1st down. 9 or 8. 8, says Mr. Borgham. And so it'll be 2nd down and 2 from there.
Moki coming into the game had 8 catches for 98 yards all year. And I think that's at least his 3rd or 4th catch of the ball game. Second catch?
Yeah,
so I'm misleading.
No, it was his 3rd catch, but one doesn't count as a time down because it was the 2-point conversion. On a 2nd down play, not much there, but close to a 1st down. Needed 2. And he will bring in the chains to see if he got it. 35-14 is the score with Irene leading.
And that is Irene's average for points on the board, 35.
And it is a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. So Troy Clock, the senior quarterback, brings his troops up. He's up under Mike Yick to center. The fullback is Riggs. Aaron is the tailback. He is in motion now. Clock looking to throw. As a man to the near side, Detterman. He'll run under him at the 25. Detterman still on his feet and out inside the 20. Eric Detterman on the 1st down reception.
You see him come out. Ben Sees is going to give him quite a bit of cushion. And Detterman will take advantage of it. And then you see Ben come up and miss on the tackle to allow Detterman to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
It's another 1st and 10, and yes, indeed, the clock won't start until the snap. There's 5:33 left on it. Aaron again goes motion wide side. Clock's looking that way. He goes to Aaron, jump ball. And Sherman wins it, his 2nd interception. That one stops the drive down by the 5. Not enough zip on the pass from Clock.
And Clock did get clocked by big Mike Nelson coming in there right as he released the ball, and he could not get anything on it. Here's another look at the interception. 84 is Nelson.
He was bearing down, wasn't he?
He was coming hard. And Sherman just had to wait for it to come down.
heavy pressure. And there's Sherman putting some pressure on Emery Ethan's defense, just shy of the first down. So it'll be a pickup of 9 out to the 15. 2nd down and 1. Joe C. surveys, puts Reuter in motion, hands it off to Reuter. Did he get the yard he needed? I don't believe so. 3rd down and 1. But the tone for this contest was really set, Tom, when Reuter ripped off that 64-yard run early in the game.
But even after that, you're stunned right away, but that's 2 plays into the game, and you say, hey, okay, we're down 6. But Irene, after that, kept pouring it on. They kept dominating the line of scrimmage. And yeah, it did make a big impact, but after that, Irene dominated the first half and continued to do so somewhat along the line of scrimmage in the second half.
A chance on 3rd down is good enough for a 1st down.
And if you're Emery Ethan, one of those situations where you got 15 miles to go and you got 10 minutes to get there. It's just not going to happen.
I hope the Highway Patrol is nowhere near. But simply a case where the Cardinals, I guess, soared higher than the Seahawks today.
That's beautiful.
Yes, this game is for the birds. And that's a good thing. Reuter again breaking over the 25 up to about the 27-yard line on that 1st down carry.
Brought down by Shetterman and Brink at the 27-yard line. An 8-yard pickup.
On a 2nd down and about 2. This has been Sherman territory. And he gets it again. Up the middle and more for the 1st down. Jason Sherman, the senior, 182-pounder. Has 9 touchdowns on the year, and the chains move there. To the 34-yard line. Sherman pounding out 99 yards on the ground and 16 carries. Timeout taken by Emery Ethan with 2:39 left to play in the 4th. Been a team on a mission. Irene has. And mission accomplished.
They really have played well all season. Brent Milcher-Canales before the game said our offensive line and our defensive line has just come together so well, and we've got so many talented running backs in Reuter and Joe Cease and Ben Cease and Sherman. They can spread it around anywhere they want. You see 62 is Jim Holscher in there, the big 294-pound senior, and he and Tony Morick and Mark Swenson and Brock Mueller and Mike Nelson on that offensive line have done it all year for Irene.
And Coach Jeff Van Loer across the way, bringing, I believe, most of his seniors, first team unit out to a standing ovation as the Emery Ethan crowd sitting above the bench, the Seahawks bench on the far side. There's some dejected players over there, but for the first time making it to the dome as Mellum takes the handoff, jumps into the air. It's always discouraging not to fulfill the dream, but it still was a dream season for Emery Ethan to come into this dome and play a title game. All right, Tom, it's time for you to take over the play-by-play. You want to?
Let's see, who we got in the ball game?
Yeah,
22 is...
Now I'll give it a whirl here.
Jim Nelson.
Chad Rankin, number 11, the quarterback. Handoff goes straight ahead. And that went to Tim McDonald, number 34, I think. Brian Crandall, number 83, on the tackle. And straight ahead, Rinkin. Chad Rinkin is a sophomore quarterback, 140 pounds. Jim Nelson, number 22, in the contest as well. That's a very truthful chant. Irene definitely is number 1 this year at 93.
On the defensive side for Emory, Ethan, Ryan Crandall, number 83, is in the ballgame. Travis Osterloo, number 63, is in the ballgame.
Rinkin will punt it. Back to receive it is Lingaman. No, I don't think it hit him. No, it is down by Joey Sherman, a freshman.
I think Joey's eyes lit up there. He thought he was going to go in for 6.
Well, if it was a live ball, he could have taken off with it, but it was not touched by Lingaman, so. Timeout taken.
There's Joey Sherman.
Yeah, he thought Lingaman might have touched it.
Well, you know, better safe than sorry. The 5'2", 105-pound freshman Joey Sherman for Irene. Just making sure.
Irene carrying the number 5 ranking with them into the playoffs. And again, the postseason winning streak started against rival Viborg Hurley. 22-6 was the final there. A 30-point second half beat Oldham Ramona Rutland, and a 47-6 score over Veblen Rossold got the Cardinals into the Dome. And barring another score, a 35-14 mark will go into the books, and the trophy will go behind glass in Irene.
Steve Olinger in there at quarterback for Emory Ethan.
Picks up the fumbled snap, does Olinger. He's a freshman, 135 pounds. Also Miles Dye, number 18. And it is Dye that gets the final carry of the game, I would think. It is celebration time for the Irene Cardinals. That's a very well played ball game, Tom.
They truly look like champions in this ball game, didn't
Yep. And the Cards are kings in 93. 35-14, the final tally. It was 20-0 at halftime. 35-14. Again, the final score.
Any guesses on MVP in this game?
Well, you know what? I think you almost have to give it to Reuter with the explosion, but Sherman did he break 100 yards, Larry? He did? 99. Sherman ended with 99 yards rushing, and he had 2 interceptions. I don't know. You make the call.
I'm going to make the call for David Reuter, but we shall see.
Brent Muchelkanals. Won it all in Class 9B in 91, and now the Class 9A champions in 93.
Marco is somewhere down in that swarm, and I spy him right there. He's trying to run down Brent Muchelkanaus.
We'll probably hear from him after the trophy presentation, I would guess.
Emery Ethan finishes up a 10-2 season, and they are the runners-up in their first ever trip to the South Dakota High School Championship game.
And here is the trophy presentation. No doubt about it, Cardinals #1. An extremely well-played football game in all aspects of that game. So Harding County has a 9B trophy. The 9A trophy belongs to Irene. And we still have 3 11-man trophies to hand out. Tonight it'll be the Class A's turn in 11-man. #1 rated winner will be playing West Central. Mark Ovenden down in the field. Go ahead, Mark. That's a happy crew you're with.
Little more emotion this time than we saw you at halftime. You guys really have to be proud of the effort today.
Well, we have to really take our hats off to Emery Ethan, and they came back in the second half and they gave us everything that they had. We had to play a good second half. We started off a little bit flat, but the guys really came back and did a good job again on offense and stopped them on defense when we had to. Some key interceptions really helped us out down the stretch there.
Yeah, when they came out and scored within about 4 minutes, I'm sure you were a little bit concerned, but boy, your kids just took the ball right downfield. The Sherman tank you got back there had a great drive, and what an arsenal of weapons you got.
Well, you know, all year long we've always had pretty good balance. The fullback, the wingbacks, the quarterback. We had some kids come in today, like I said before. They got some playing time, hadn't played much all year long. Chris Torgerson and Neil Mellum, and they carried the ball when we needed them to. We had some linemen that came in and did the job, and they, you know, we do have an arsenal. We had a good team, not just 1 or 2 good individuals.
Brent, when you guys were ranked #1 early in the year in 9B, and then all of a sudden I woke up one Monday and started looking through the 9B ranks and no Irene. Wait a minute, this is a misprint. Suddenly you got bumped up into 9A. How did you use that in your team's favor?
Well, you know, it's something that we knew was probably going to happen. We had gone above the enrollment cap, and there had been some talk about changing it, but it didn't happen. And so we were prepared to go 9A, and we were ready for it. We just wanted to play football no matter where we were at.
Does it make it even more satisfying having bumped up a class to win this?
Well, you know, it does feel good that we can make the step up and we can still compete and we can be at the top. But just the game that we played today was satisfying.
Okay, I hate to pick anybody out, but let's grab a couple of your star players here, Brent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys played a super game. Joe Sees, come on in here, Joe. Joe, you were the guy that kind of was at the middle of all this, taking the snaps and making the hits on the defensive side of the ball. Had to be fun out there to have so many good players around you.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I mean, the line does a great job. They take people out of my way. And safeties do a great job on the pass defense, and just all click today.
Which do you enjoy more, offense or defense? And I think I know the answer.
Well, I probably enjoy offense more, but I like to play defense.
Like to hit.
They hit.
What was the key to your team winning this game today, do you think?
We just all came together, and the line did a great job of taking out their line, and we just pounded the ball on them.
How big was this win for you today after what happened last year? I know you guys were kind of disappointed with losing in the semifinals. Has that been something you've been talking about a lot outwardly, or has it just been something that's been kind of burning inside for you?
Well, I guess the team has really talked about it a lot, not wanting to get beat again when you're this close to the dome. So we all kind of kept that in mind throughout the playoffs.
Nice season and nice game today.
Thank you, sir.
Could you have played a better game today, do you think?
Probably offensively.
Oh, not much. No, come on, you guys played a great game. Let's get your teammate over here, Mr. Reuter, as David had a phenomenal game here. 3 quick touchdowns. David, second play of the game, boom, you're gone. What a way to start.
Yeah, kind of surprised me too. They seem like a pretty good team. I don't know.
That really seemed to hurt them. I mean, when you could take the wind out of a team's sails, they come out of the locker room and you're both all charged up. When you could score a quick touchdown like that, that really, I think, took an awful lot out of their game.
Yeah, it seemed to get our adrenaline pumping. It seemed to drain them pretty good. I don't know. They seemed to do pretty good, I think.
And that wasn't your only big play. You ended up with 3 touchdowns. You had a big pick at the end. It was 28-14. Got to give them credit. They were coming back on you a little bit, and you guys put a lot of pressure on clock.
I just went back, tried to guard my man as best I could, dropped back in the zone, and I seen a ball flying through the air.
Have you ever had more fun than you did today playing in here on this surface?
I don't know. It's kind of a tough surface to play on. Kind of energy draining. It's so darn hot in here.
Oh, no kidding. Well, hey, enjoy the heat.
Yeah.
What a tremendous performance by David Reuter. 3 touchdowns, almost had a 4th. He was knocked out on about the half-yard line. His Irene Cardinals, they fly high today, 35-14 the final score. Back up to the booth to Lee and Tom.
Yeah, Mark, they can definitely stay in the kitchen because they can stand the heat. The Irene Cardinals win it again by the final score of 34-14. Let's throw some quick numbers at you. Irene, 307 yards rushing. Emery Ethan, 220 yards passing, but really it was those rushing yards, and Sherman, 99 of those. Reuter had 120 of those 3 touchdowns, but it was a good job. That was a team that no doubt came to win it all, and they just said, all right, let's do it. We did it. We got it.
One big defensive stat, Dave Aaron, 13 carries for just 38 yards for Emery Ethan today, a testament to the Irene defense. Eric Detterman did catch 4 balls for 88 yards for the Seahawks, but 35-14, Irene right at its season average, and they're the champs.
So 2 of the trophies handed out, Harding County and Irene. Very, 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 very happy teams right now. Winner and West Central will kick off tonight at 7:30, but first to the Cal pregame show. We'll meet you back at the Dome at 7 o'clock. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We'll see you then. For Tom Neiman, Mark Ovenden, Larry Borgum, thanks Borgie on the numbers. I'm Lee Timmerman. Catch you back here in just a couple hours.